then folks, welcome at Thames FC with me, Dr. Benji FM, and we start today with a Casper. If you watched the 100-minute live stream, you may well recall that we signed a guy from Norway, another Norwegian coming in, Casper Emblemsvag. That sounds right. Svag, right? 18 years of age, has been capped by Norway and with plenty of potential. He joined in the January, so hopefully we'll see him next episode. But I forgot to mention him yesterday for some reason. It wasn't on the other transfer situation or anything. It's only in the future transfers list. So you can see him there. 1.3 million. Big bucks have been spent, but I think he could develop into an absolute superstar. If he's this good at 18, how good would he be at 19 and 20 and 21? We'll have to wait and see. But yeah, really pleased to bring him in. I think he could be a bit of a dynamo in our midfield. And yeah, we'll see him next time. Now, when we last met, Thames were up there in terms of league position, looking really good. And since then, we've dropped off a tiny bit. We do have a game in hand on some of the sides above us, notably Norwich and Ipswich. But there's been a bit of a downswing in form, it's fair to say. So you can see there then, after our Carabao Cup defeat to Southampton, Thames on a 4-game losing streak, only scoring 2 goals in the games we played as well. Leeds beat us, Palace beat us, Ipswich beat us, even Birmingham beat us. Birmingham, who last season gave us goals for fun. Since then, though, it's turned around a little bit. We've played some easier sides. We've played some of the Bs, Barnsley, Bournemouth and Brentford. 7 points from those 3 games. We're back on track a little bit. And it's no coincidence that Ben-Hur back in the side and all of a sudden we're winning games again, which is nice to see. Of course, then, today, 2 hopefully winnable games for us, Cardiff and Bolton to come. And if we take a look at the league table, then you can see that we currently sit in 7th position, if it loads, we're in the future. 7th position, and as I said before, the top 4 sides after 24 or so games have all lost 7 matches. So it is very, very close. We're on 37 points with a minus goal difference, but you can see all the teams around us very closely congested. I do fear our goal difference is going to be a major factor come the end of the season, but let's not worry about that right now. We're halfway through. At the halfway stage, we're 7th, and I think if you'd have given me that at the start of the season, I'd have taken it. So, first things first, let's get into today's game, Cardiff. And it's not for 3 days, so good planning there, Ben. Well done you. Okay then, folks, game day is upon us, and this is the starting 11 for that game then. Reed will be in goal. Morris, Holmes and Edmund at the back once again, returning. Vokins will play, of course, at left back, and has done actually a pretty good job. A 7.07 this season. Our best performing defender, left back, has been a contentious issue for me this summer. Street, White and Harvey across the middle, with Johnson playing in front, with the Welter Wink and Ben-Hur up top through the middle. We've got a nice option, really. Tyler Davis and Altidal both on the bench. Steve Foster there too. Connor Dugdale as a backup replacement for the centre-back role as well. But things are looking good. Steve Connon will miss out today, as will Dennis, but we should be fine. I'm hoping we're fine. We've gone back to a control system, by the way. We're playing counter. We lost 4 games playing counter. I've gone back to control. It's working out a bit better. And of course, we may be playing Pat Rogers here, so keep an eye out. I think eventually one day I would like to bring Pat Rogers home, but is he starting for them today? No, he's not. Not even on the bench. All right, I'm going to assertively say there's a lot more to come from them, and I believe they've got what it takes, and so far, so good. All right, everyone seems pretty happy. We're in the blue and white, of course. They are in the green and black kit, and the things are underway. I will say, folks, thank you so much for continually watching this series. I don't know if you come at 5 o'clock every single day and watch the series, or if you watch it later at night when everyone's gone to bed or something like that. That sounds weirder than I intended. But you know what I mean? A bit of you time when you get to watch the series. Let me know, actually, comment section. This is a good time. When do you watch this series? Are you waiting at 5 o'clock ready for it to come out, or is there sort of a time in the day where you pick out when to watch it, or do you watch them in bulk? Maybe you watch this in the future a little bit and you watch these all together so you can sort of binge watch them like a Netflix series. Let me know. Ben-Hur has picked up a little injury there. Hopefully not too seriously. He's becoming, I don't want to use the phrase injury prone, but he's getting injuries quite a lot, which if I was to define it as a term, I would say injury prone. But I mean, a fascinating first half here, as it's 0-0. Nothing's gone on. Well, we had a chat, that was nice, but apart from that, we've seen nothing. All right, passionately say, we're not doing badly at all. If everyone works hard, we'll win this. And motivation-wise, they seem to be doing all right. I do think we had a team meeting after those defeats, and there was an international break sort of teamed with it as well, and they seem to respond quite well. So since then, we've done all right. The question is with Ben-Hur, do we get him off for someone like Altidal, who of course comes on and causes problems for everybody, mostly their defence? There's a decision to be made. We'll give it 10 minutes. I think having Ben-Hur out there, in recent games especially, has proven to be vital. He's got really good hold-up play, he's smart, he's got good decision-making. I think we leave him out there for a little longer. All right, there's about half an hour to go, and we've seen little in terms of chances. So I think that now is probably the best time to bring on Altidal as the target man on attack, and we'll see if him and Welter Wink can combine together. Ben-Hur comes off. Hopefully, again, that's not a too serious injury. It's a potential knee injury, so it might just be a bruising. We'll have to wait and see. White in the centre is having won't say a difficult time, but he's a little tired, and I'm thinking we might switch to the diamond here later on. This might be a bit of a risk, actually, but play Keown Harris in his preferred ball-winning midfield role. And I'm just going to do a subtle little change in there. It doesn't change too much, of course. You'll know, recent seasons, this is what we've been playing. He knows the role well. Hopefully it doesn't change systematically what we're doing too much as we do win the ball back. What I'm hoping actually is it gives the midfield two a little bit more freedom to play balls in behind perhaps, or just get on the ball a little more. As Pat Street now is on the ball, finds Altidal, he finds his strike partner, WW, and as he goes out wide, it goes back to Morris. Of course, we've got Altidal in the centre, finds Johnson though. This is the first sort of highlight of the game we've seen so far. And it results, actually, as us giving it away. Although he's quite isolated. And now Altidal is in acres of space. You give Altidal this much space, you're always in danger. And there's Welter Wink in the centre. Renato makes it 1-0. Lovely stuff. 78 minutes gone. A lovely time to score. Cardiff this season, pretty indifferent, just in the middle of the pack. If they'd have beaten us today, they'd have got right behind us, actually. You can see there, Holmes launches it into space. And when Altidal's on the pitch, that is a fine tactic to pull off. Ball into the middle. Welter Wink's there. And we've got a screen in the corner. I mean, it's not our ground, but even so. It's a free kick to Cardiff, though. Not long after we've scored our goal, so I'm a little bit nervous as the shot comes in straight over the bar. But yeah, turns out changing formation maybe had a positive impact. It was a bit risky really because White was having a good game, but the game does continue here, and Edwards on that side. Holmes cuts it out and does well to get it to Morris, and our ball down the line wouldn't go amiss, to be honest. Getting it out of danger as Street picks it up and finds a ball forward. Will Altidal chase that? Not this. He's tired for some reason. He's not been doing much. Harrington though, left side for Cardiff. Ball into the centre, and I don't know what's happened. I don't know if Holmes was supposed to go for it. Reed came out for it, and Cardiff equalised in pretty dramatic fashion. We've bossed the game entirely. Pass completion has been through the roof today. You can see there that the ball over the top is decent. I mean, Kane Morris lets his marker slip a little bit, doesn't block the cross either, and then a little bit of confusion, bit of indecision, and Cardiff nab home. Well, it's not ideal. I'll put it that way, viewers. It's not ideal. I mean, there's not long enough to go in the game. Tyler Davis is going to come on for Renato. We're going to try and push forward a little more and see, can we get a late winner? It doesn't look like we can. 20 seconds or so to go. Unless it comes with this highlight here, I think it's going to be 1-1 as, yeah, it's a little bit higgledy-piggledy in the centre as Cardiff bring this away. But I can't imagine it'll result in anything, will it? Will it? Ball played in. Danger. Okay, sorted. And there you are then. Thames 1, Cardiff 1. Hold that thought. Why is he not... Oh, he could have done more. I'm not feeling brilliantly today, folks. I'm sorry if my voice gets a little bit weird. But there we are, 1-1. Renato, I thought he got the winner, but a late goal for Edwards. Maybe we should have gone more defensive, actually, but I don't know. I felt like we were on top. They weren't creating too much, like team-wise. They weren't playing very well. Edwards' rating only went up once he scored. They were having a pretty poor game, whereas across the board, we were doing okay. There was a few players on 7s there, but there we are then. Disappointing, but, I mean, we didn't lose. All right, Bolton to come. They're in 12th position, so a similar type of game, and I'll see you for it in just a moment. Ben-Hur then, pulled knee ligaments. 3 weeks. Oh, is this going to be the story of Ben-Hur's tale with us? And you can see there, he's had a fair few, and while playing for us so far, this is his 6th injury that he's had. A few of them have just been a couple of days, which aren't too bad, but you can see he's picking them up more than I'd like. I guess, actually, maybe we're bringing him back too quickly, and that's something I've got to think about in the future. FA Cup 3rd round draw. I'm going to do the whole thing. We might as well see if we get a big name. I'd quite like a really easy game, to be honest. We're playing Brighton away. It's hardly a thriller. You can see there, though, Liverpool Man United. Big the battle of the former affiliate versus the current affiliate. Although I kind of thought they would both be affiliate. I messed up. Okay, folks, welcome back to game number 2. And only one subtle change has happened in the side for this game. Then, of course, Ben-Hur steps out and we bring in Altidal. Suppose the target man in an attacking sense. That wouldn't have been enjoyable, Furious. I can only apologise. We bring in Altidal to play alongside Welter Wink, who I've had to move to that left-hand side. Now, there is a debate to say that Tyler Davis and Altidal should maybe become a bit more of a partnership. You've got a very experienced player in Tyler Davis. Even at 24, he's just a very well-rounded player. So there's a temptation to have sort of the Brazilians play if they're both fit and available, and then have the two more traditionally English players. Although Altidal is actually Norwegian, he plays quite an English style of quite a big lad that could run a bit. Grant Holt, think on Grant Holt with a bit more pace. A lot more pace. So Tyler Davis is actually going to come in. I'm changing my mind on this a little bit, and we're going to see then how we do. Injuries still maintained with Dennis and Steve. Dennis and Steve. I love the first name system I've got going on. Reed will be in goal. Despite his error, we're going to stick with him for now. Morris, Holmes, Edmund, Vodkin, and I always say Vokin. White, Harvey, Street, Johnson. That I've said it all now. All right, and Bolton. Now, this should be the sort of game that we win by a couple. They're slightly worse than us, and traditionally we do quite well against those sides. All right, I'm going to passionately say, I expect to win tonight. Oh, they don't look stressed. I've got faith in you. There's no reason to look stressed. Come on. Big night here for Davis and Altidal. Actually, a duo that we've rarely played. With Tom George last year, he was very much the one striker, and it was Altidal or Davis that played with him. Rarely ever played the two of them together up top, as Vokin's on that side, at the corner, not particularly well. Finds Pat Street there about 20 yards out. Johnson on it now, and it's sort of back and forth a little bit again. There's not a massive amount of consistency with our passing at the moment, but Vokins brings this away now. If he can find the ball forward, he does. Davis is going to have to pressure this, and he does do. Altidal's there in the centre, but Moore comes in, claims. Good goalkeeping, actually. The highlight actually continues as Davis makes his way into the box, finds Altidal, and this time Moore makes a save from the header. Good start from Thames, though, very good. Now there's a corner to be played in for Bolton as it is cleared. Are we going to get on that? Not quite. Tuck instead, down the left-hand side, goes for goal, but shoots wide of it. Now, win today could put us back in the top 6, so it'd be nice to be able to get that, really, as White goes into Harvey, into Morris, and I'm wondering if we should exploit the flanks a little more, because sometimes down the centre we're not quite as successful as Street with a chance, Moore with a good save. I do wonder if it will allow the runs in behind from the likes of Altidal, and that will allow us to get more balls into the middle, but I don't know, something to think about in the future, maybe. You can see very, very tight, though. Wigan there, we'll bring it to this side. Wigan on 38, Thames 39, Fulham 39, QPR 39, then Bournemouth on 40. Little gap developing between Bournemouth and Norwich, but Bournemouth do have a few games in hand, actually. And in fairness, we have a game in hand on Norwich as well, so it could all close up. Taylor for Bolton, ball played in, and a big chance. It almost came out of nothing. The ball was put out wide, and the delivery was pretty good. But Bolton actually showing they're not to be messed with here as the ball's played in. Another big chance for them. What is going on here? Do you know what? We're gonna toy a little bit with this exploit the flank system. I know people think that without wingers you shouldn't do this, but I think if we can get balls down the sides and have the runs of Davis and Altidal, maybe exploit that, maybe help the back two, so the fullbacks get forward as well. That would be preferred as we go close there, but it comes to nothing. Sorry, getting the fullbacks on a little bit, getting the runs in behind from Altidal and Davis. We might see a bit more of that if we're exploiting the flanks more. It's something I've tried in the past and it's worked pretty successfully. Bolton had 5 shots in the game, none on target, but all have been quite dangerous. So it's time for everyone to dig in. Give everything they've got left tonight. Come on, boys. A tough game against Cardiff, but I mean, this is the game. This is the sort of game we should be really looking to win. This really is like one of those games that decides: are we going to be a mid-table side this season, or are we a serious contender for the playoffs? We started the season brilliantly. We're on that terrible run, which saw us lose to sort of teams at all ends of the division, and now we see Bolton again bring this forward out on that side. We need to try and stop it. Ball's in. The ball in was very, very good. Taylor at the back post prods home, and Bolton take the lead. I can't find any consistency at the moment, and that is frustrating. I wonder if the system and the changing around is affecting it, but I've not done too much, if I'm being completely honest. In the last few games, I've not changed it that much as that's fired in. I guess Ben-Hur. I feel like we always miss Ben-Hur. A bit of possession for Thames as Morris on that side gives it to Harvey inside. Finds Johnson. We could do with a goal pretty soon after they've scored, to be honest, as White is on it now, dictating from the centre. Street there. Plays a through ball to Davis, and a great opportunity, and he scores. Tyler Davis. Lovely finish. I was just thinking about some striking changes. Actually, I was going to bring Altidal off, but now I've got the goal. I think we'll stick with it. Some nice work from midfield, combining nicely in the centre to find the opening. As Street here, the ball from Pat Street, very, very good indeed. Davis just pulls off his marker, slides it into the bottom corner. Thames 1, Bolton 1. We've already had a 1-1. We've seen a 1-1 today. Let's give us something more. Altidal's on a booking. He's on a 6.2. He's not having the greatest performance so far, so Walter's coming on. And we're going to play him as the false 9. He's been enjoying that role. I know it says he's preferred as a poacher, but when I tried that, it never really worked. Okay, actually, no. The sort of game it is, I want him pushed on further forward. I want him to be sort of the final piece of a combination jigsaw. So we'll just see if it works out. There's a chance for us. Morris, ball in. It's played in. It's not really successful. And actually, they've got some space out wide now. Morris pushed on, and Bolton with a chance to counter. Colwell, there's men in the middle. He finds Taylor at the back post, whose shot comes back across the goal. He finds the composure from Taylor down the bottom there was superb. Teddy Wright finishes it off, and very frustrating. Obviously, we're committing men forward. Our fullbacks have pushed on there, but I don't know if I should be stopping that. I'm going to bring McDonald on in the middle for White, and we're just going to see final 10 to go. Can we get a goal back in the game? We've got some possession, hopefully. Harvey's on it, and a little combination play. No, it's cleared. And Colwell, who started everything positive, you've got to say, from a bottom perspective, he finds Taylor, who's been a terror in the game for us. Tuck goes close, and we don't really deserve to win it. I mean, we've had more shots, we've had a lot more possession, but I don't know, it's hard to say we don't deserve to win it when you look at the stats of the game, but actually, Morris again, ball in, Davis is there. I knew before he'd even put it in, but he's offside. Very frustrating period of the season so far. Johnson's picked up a knock as well. I would bring someone on, but there's little to no time left at all, as it's not been a great performance today. Bolton, I don't want to say they've been the better team, because I don't think they have. I think we've been pretty unlucky. I don't know, I'm sure you're going to leave your thoughts in the comment section, and please do, as well as letting me know what time you watch the videos. But yeah, it's a frustration. I feel like system-wise, we've actually been pretty good in the last few games, so this is a bit of a disappointment. We went 4 unbeaten, and then, yeah, been absolutely pumped. I should have been more aggressive there, but never mind. I'm trying to keep morale high. So, next episode, we will be in the January, and we'll find our new Norwegian in Casper. You can see their Thames have slipped to 10th position. Not ideal, but it is still very, very close at the top. Lots to play for. We've got a game in hand on a couple of teams. Win that, and maybe we're back in the conversation once again, but it's got to happen pretty soon. Johnson's now out for 4 to 7 weeks as well, 4 to 5 weeks. Not ideal. And, yeah, Thames, they're on a bit of a tricky run. I mean, the form, ever since that Southampton game, you look at that, not the best, is it? Only 2 wins from that spell. Not great news. And when you're losing to teams like Bolton, that does, I said it during the episode, right? If you're not winning that sort of game, you're probably looking at another mid-table season. If we are, we will try and speed things up a little bit, but we just have to play a lot of games to find out if that's the case. If you enjoyed the video, though, please do leave a like. And you want to see some more, subscribe to the channel. We love with care. Until next time, goodbye. And keep an eye over the weekend, as I'm pretty sure there'll be another Thames video. I just love the series, boys. Love it! Not when you lose to Bolton, though. Less love there. Less love.